Hello and welcome to The Know. Here are today's top stories. We predict what could be coming up in the Chancellor's spring budget. A new documentary details the moment police found out the identity of Sarah Everard's killer. And George Galloway is sworn in as an MP. Tory Chancellor Jeremy Hunt will this week deliver what could be his final budget before the general election. We look at what the Chancellor could announce and how it affects you. In his pre-election budget, Jeremy Hunt is said to be mulling a cut to either national insurance or income tax. According to The Times, a further 1% or 2% cut in employees' national insurance could be unveiled with a £4.5 billion a year price tag. It follows a 2% cut at the autumn statement last year. Rishi Sunak's crackdown on vaping continues as the PM and his Chancellor consider a new tax. Currently, vaping liquid is subject to VAT, but an announcement at this week's budget could see a separate levy imposed. If a new vape tax is introduced, the products will remain a cheaper alternative to tobacco. In a further blow to smokers' pockets, Mr Hunt could impose a one-off increase in tobacco duty at the budget. There have been reports a pack of 20 cigarettes could cost on average around £16 after the budget. The Chancellor is said to be considering a plan to allow first-time buyers to take up mortgages with a 1% deposit to help young people on the property ladder. It would mean someone buying a house at the average UK price of £288,000 would need to put down a deposit of £2,800 rather than £14,400. But experts have warned 1% deposits could be a short-term fix as it does not address chronic housing shortages and could push up prices even further. The Chancellor is also considering scrapping or scaling back the non-dom tax loophole for super-rich UK residents in a major U-turn. It allows around 70,000 UK residents whose permanent home or domicile is outside of Britain to avoid paying UK tax on overseas income and potentially save millions. Labour pledged to abolish the measure 2 years ago after it was revealed that Rishi Sunak's wife Akshata Murthy benefits from the loophole. Finally, fuel duty on both petrol and diesel has stood at £52.95 a litre since 2011. The Chancellor will almost certainly extend the freeze for the 14th year in a row as he unveils the budget. The 5p a litre cut in fuel duty, which was announced in 2022 in response to a spike in global prices, could also be extended for another year. The detective who led the investigation into Sarah Everard's murder has told of the chilling moment she was informed that prime suspect Wayne Couzens was a serving police officer. Detective Chief Inspector Catherine Goodwin made the revelation as she spoke on camera for the first time in a documentary on the marketing executive's murder.
Whilst Nick and his team were running on blue lights to get some control of the address, one of my detective sergeants came running into the office and said, "We need to shut the door. You need to hear this." He then put one of our researchers on speakerphone and she said, "He's a police officer. He's a serving officer in the Met. He currently works for the Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection Group." I knew that I had to tell my boss, and I can just remember the shock of having to just sit on the floor of the office and say to her, "You're not going to believe this, that he's a police officer." And then the same questions went through her head as went through my head. "Are you sure?"
Sarah Everard, The Search for Justice, has been 2.5 years in the making and will air on Tuesday evening on BBC One, days after the 3rd anniversary of her murder. George Galloway has been sworn in as an MP in the House of Commons.
I swear by Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God.
The controversial left-wing firebrand who won Rochdale's by-election last week was ousted as an MP in 2015. Mr Galloway, who was expelled from Labour after being found to have brought the party into disrepute in 2003, declared this is for Gaza as he won the Rochdale by-election in the early hours of Friday. The ex-Labour and Respect MP, who now leads the Workers' Party of Britain, vowed to disrupt Labour's bid for power and threatened to stand candidates against it in up to 50 seats across the country at the next general election. Thank you for watching The Know. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more daily news updates.